Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I'm in a little bit different room here. I'm trying out different spots in the house for filming. Since my mom's not here anymore, I've been clearing out a lot of clutter, and as I get more space in the house, I'm just thinking I think I'm gonna just basically turn this house into a big studio. I've got some lights, and I'm about to get those lights out. I've had them almost 8 or 9 months and haven't even used them, so if I clear these rooms out, I got different options. I can put lights up, I can do a studio here. Who knows, at some point I might even have another YouTuber come here and spend some time, and then they would have a studio they could use as well. But anyhow, today I want to talk about my raw food diet and cooked food clarification. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please go down there and hit that subscribe button now. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and hit the like button too if you would. This one is just like, this one today is just like it says. This one's clarification. Now, when I talk about this, I did a video, I think it was either last week or the week before, talking about how I'm not 100% raw. And I just always like to clarify things, make everything as transparent as possible, because if you always remember, as a disclaimer, I'm not telling you this is how it should be done. I'm not telling you how you should eat. I'm just saying if you're watching my show and you're taking any conclusions from that, I want you to have the full picture. So every time I do one of these videos and I talk about, how I'm not 100% raw or how I eat some cooked food, I think some people take that and go in another direction. And I think they maybe see like, well, number one, and I can tell from comments and things people say online from time to time, that was not one of these, nothing changed. I just kind of like to update, verify, and tell you what this channel is about from time to time. I haven't changed anything. This is what I've been doing for 6 years. I just never was part of the cult of the raw food diet. I from very early on, I could feel that pull, and I probably dabbled and stepped a toe or two in, but I felt the pull of that raw food diet cult. And I've avoided even stepping anywhere close to it since then. Now, what I should say too is when some people tell you they're eating cooked food and I'm telling you and I'm eating cooked food, I do everything different for some reason. Maybe it's because I don't hang out with humans all that much, but I always tend to have my own special circumstances, because it seems to me like there's people that are raw all the time, never eat a bite, and then there's the ones that once they're not fully raw, they go all the way over, and then they eat cooked on a regular basis. They might even be like, go back to being raw till 4. Mine is just kind of whenever it is. I go for long periods of the time being fully raw. When I get back down to Costa Rica and I'm close to the beach, I'm going to be fully raw again. And that wasn't because I was trying or being fanatic before. It's just because of what was available there. But I'm just not fanatic over that. I'm not going to run around and center my whole life, on food here while I'm in the States. But having said that, I don't want to lead you in another direction. And, there is no typical pattern. When people ask me questions, I'm not trying to be evasive, but there just really is. It's chaos. I mean, I may, even here, I might go 3 weeks and not eat any cooked food. And then I go to Pensacola and I eat some heavier cooked food at my, my restaurant down there. I had macaroni and cheese this past weekend. I come back home and boom, I drop right back to that place. See, there's not that carryover. There's not, okay, I've eaten some cooked food and then for 3 or 4 days I make less than optimal options. No, usually I'll have that meal and then I come back here and boom, I'm back to my ice cream, and then the next morning I'm into my juice and eating mangoes, and it's like nothing has ever really changed. I'm always just saying, the raw is always going to be the best for me. And I think a lot of people, and hey, once again, let me speak very slowly and clarify this. Whatever you do is your own business. I just don't want you to be making assumptions based on what I'm telling you. Because I kind of got that vibe too, that a lot of people were like, oh, well, he's saying it's okay. I mean, it's always okay. You're making the choices on what you put in your mouth. But I almost kind of felt like this blessing, like, oh, he's not fully raw, or he stopped being fully raw, and then people just stop eating the raw. I would say this, and some people will probably get irked a little bit by this. Don't not do fully raw because you can't. See, that would get in my head. That would get in my head. That's another one of those things, like I'm not a fanatic. I also don't like, my mind doesn't like it when it thinks, oh, I can't do something. So everybody, whether you're going to be fully raw or not for long term, before you can make a educated decision with all the facts, you got to do it. I would say everybody should do the fully raw thing for a little while. It's not going to kill you. What's it going to hurt? You know, and then see, okay, maybe in your circumstances, you'll figure out, like me, that you know, the raw, I always feel the absolute best on the raw. There's no doubt about that. Let me be crystal clear about that. As soon as I eat something, but I know my limits too. And that's why I'm not going to be fanatic. Yes, I feel great on the raw. And sometimes I suspect that people exaggerate, but I'm not saying, yes, I feel better on the raw. The cook does bring me down a couple of levels, but it's not some drastic, it's not like I drop from the penthouse to the basement just because I've had a cooked meal. The most that happens to me is I don't have as much energy like the other, let's see, this past weekend, okay, I ate lunch when I was in Pensacola. I didn't have that same afternoon energy that I normally do. I was a little bit more sluggish. I didn't feel bad. I was still able to do what I needed to do that day, and I probably had 10 times more energy than the average person. Just wasn't quite at that level I was before. So for me, like I say, it's always going to be about practical. I think it's kind of neat, and I think it's kind of cute when I see the videos and I see people that, you know, and they have the whole presentation about when I travel on the plane and they've got all these little things packed in this little container and this little one, and they go on this trip here. And I'm just not, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I have my boundaries and I do things within my limitations, but it's just not, I'm not that fanatic about keeping it 100% raw all the time. But having said that, it is mostly raw all the time. I wouldn't know how to put a percentage on it. I don't see people talking about their percentage of raw. I used to see that a lot, where people would say, well, I'm 94% raw. I'm like, how are you doing the math on that? That's some complicated math. So I don't know, but yes. But like I say, I don't want to lead in that other direction. I'm mostly 100% raw. I eat very little cooked food. It's a small percentage of my day. I'm just trying to think of anything I might have missed. When I do eat cooked food, it's not like I've decided, okay, now I'm going to have a holiday and I eat every meal cooked. When I eat cooked food, it's usually one cooked meal, and then boom, I'm back on the raw. So like I say, once again, just clarification here, not trying to tell you how you should do it. Everybody's kind of got to find their own way. Find your own way. Stop looking to other people, like that video I said the other day. Don't worry about what this person over here is doing. Don't worry about what that person over there is doing. That's been my attitude this whole journey. And I think that's why I thrive like I do, because I haven't gotten caught up in the dogma of any of the sides. I haven't gotten caught up in that fully raw food dogma, which can be some cray-cray there. I haven't gotten caught up in that anti where I don't believe in raw food. I just do my own little thing, and I feel great all the time. And that's all it's really about. I'm not doing competitive raw food eating. I'm not trying to be the top of the raw food educators or being completely raw. It'd probably help my channel. Like if I did that whole thing and I just tightened my message a little bit and I preached that I was fully raw, yeah, I'd probably pull a little bit more of the real devotees in, but I'm here for my health. The channel's just secondary. I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, I think. I show you what I do through this channel. I don't perform or I don't eat a certain way to try to create a show, to create content. I want it to be as real as possible. I just want you to see how I eat. And I will tell you, and I'll finish up with this, so you'll know I got a little bit of humility about me. I scrutinize mine all the time too. That's why I'm not saying this is the way, you should do this. I probably don't get as much variety as I should. I do go on these long periods of just eating the same thing over and over and over and over. Right now, I don't really care about, oh, am I getting full nutrition, this and that. I'm just like, all I'm about is watermelon juice, mangoes, and bananas. Banana and ice cream, my smoothies. Other than that, I'll throw a few other things in, but that's basically what I'm living on this summer. So anyhow, just wanted to clarify that. Okay, if I have to put a number on it, I'm going to say I'm 95% raw. But I can't prove my math there. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Peace.